I have 9 o'clock. We will call the Board of Supervisors meeting to order for Monday, January 10th. This time, anyone may address the board on matters of which are on the agenda. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address. Individuals wishing to comment on a public hearing will be given the opportunity during that respective hearing. Individual remarks are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone in the boardroom wish to address the board? I have nothing. Do we have anything on Zoom?
We do not.
Okay. We'll move to the proclamations. There are no proclamations for approval at this meeting. Approval of minutes of the meeting of January 3rd. Looking for a motion to approve.
I'll move.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Consent items. We have the quarterly report from the auditor, quarterly report from the recorder, and quarterly report from the sheriff.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent items as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Procurement procedures, we have none. Public hearing, we have a notice of public hearing for the amendments to the zoning ordinance.
I'll make a motion to approve the notice.
I will second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve the notice of hearing. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Carries. Approval of plats. We have a resolution to approve the final plat of Junie's Place. Tammy?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll start with this. Plat of survey. Well, first of all, you're going to see a lot of lots coming out of here, all right? So plat of survey of lot 1 and lot 2 of Junie's Place, comprised of lot 1 of lot 2 of lot 1, of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 1, of lot 2 of lot 1, of lot 1 of lot 1, of lot 1 of lot 1, of lot 1, of lot 1 of lot 1, of lot 2 and lot 2 of lot 1, of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 1, of lot 1 of lot 2, all in the northwest quarter of the northeast quarter, and lot 1 of lot 2 of lot 1, of lot 1 and lot 2, of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 2, and lot 2 of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 2 of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 2, and lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 2 of lot 1 of lot 1 of lot 2, all in the northeast quarter of the northeast quarter, all in section 15 T90 North R2E Prue Township, Dubuque County, Iowa. This property is owned by John and Lita McLaughlin, a trust, and is located 3.13 miles north of the city of Sageville along Kings Row with a total of 2.86 acre survey. This property is owned R3 single family residential. The purpose of this plat is to separate the existing house and create a lot for the family member to build a new home on. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 1.24 acres surveyed, and it will be sold to the family member to build a new home. And lot 2 is a total of 1.62 acres with an existing home and detached garage, and it will be sold to a family member. Lot 1 and lot 2 will share a 9,295 square foot shared yard easement that includes a gazebo. Lot 1 and lot 2 will have accesses off of the private road Kings Road. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat, and there are no mortgages on the property, and all of the signatures are current. This plat's been reviewed by myself as Plat's officer, has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. This is just a division of a lot. There were several lots, obviously, and this is creating 2 lots that meet our ordinance standards of over an acre, and it is zoned residential. So it's an estate where family members are purchasing the property. Does anybody have any questions for me?
I have nothing.
Tammy, I appreciate from my real estate days, the care that we have to take in reading all those lots. Attorney May just entered the room, but we had one of the multiple legal descriptions where there are sublots and lots of lots. But you know, that's a unique thing to Iowa. in terms of our land recording documents. So thank you for just giving us an extreme example of that. But
Yeah, that is one.
I'd move approval of the final plat of Junie's Place.
And I will second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve the final plat of Junie's Place. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Thank you.
Carries. Thank you, Tammy. Next, we'll move to the action items. A resolution to approve the hiring of deputies, assistants, and clerks.
Excuse me, Supervisor Putoff?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Mary Havel. Did you on the consent agenda, was the fireworks permit approved?
I made a motion, I believe, for all three.
For the quarterly reports?
Yeah, you're right. I did. I said as presented. I don't know if you ever read the fireworks permit one.
I don't have it on my sheet.
Yeah, I think the agenda in the border might have been printed out before the final
Yep.
before the final agenda was published. It was on our final agenda though, but it's not here before us. I saw it online. It's in the packet.
Oh, well, it didn't. It's not on the,
Are we presenting the documents online? I will. Okay, thank you.
I don't have that on my, agenda, even on my laptop.
3B.
In the online.
Good
packet.
catch, Mary. I missed that as well. And I made the motion.
Do we have, moving back to the consent items, we have, Platte River Displays Fireworks Permit for Dubuque County Fairgrounds.
Make a motion to, excuse me.
I'll second.
That's all in one, right? Oh, it's at the fireworks. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the consent items for the fireworks permit.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the fireworks permit under consent. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. That carries. Sorry about that, Mary.
That's okay, thank you.
Next, we'll move back to the action items. Resolution to approve the hiring of deputies, assistants, and clerks.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Have a motion.
Procedural process. Are we going to present those on, is that our attempt? We normally had presented those to the public on Zoom as well. Is that? Okay, sounds good. I thought I was just didn't want to jump on Ed if he was supposed to jump ahead of him if he was supposed to quit that. Okay, sounds good. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
And I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the hiring of deputies, assistants, and clerks. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries.
Well, you know, I'm comfortable. I have it in front of me. It's for the public, so they can follow along with what we're doing. I think it makes it easier when we do present the actual document we're approving.
Next, we have a resolution to approve the necessary real estate documents for grade and pave improvement projects on the Northwest Arterial D10 South John Deere Road project, HDP CO 31 parentheses 110-3C-31.
Anthony here to give any context of that?
That's what I was
If
just.
not, I'm comfortable moving forward. Just wondering if he's online.
Yeah, good morning. I'm online here.
Here we go.
Yeah, good morning. So this would be the right-of-way documents for the John Deere Build Grant project. So this would be our last piece of right-of-way to finalize. Kind of what you have before there is a purchase agreement, which is kind of unique for, you know, what we do. We typically buy easement, but in this case, we had to purchase a piece of property for the septic area for Dew Track. So we're purchasing this by title, and at this time we just have a purchase agreement in place. We have to do a closing date later on, and we have to kind of go through the pre-plat and final plat process. So today what's before you is just the purchase agreement, and then eventually we'll get to an actual closing date to finalize this. So again, this will be for the build project. Final plans are due next Tuesday.
Very good. I will make a motion to approve the resolution to approve the real estate for the John Deere project.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the real estate documents. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have a resolution to approve plans and specifications for the grade and pave improvements project on Northwest Arterial, D10 South John Deere Road, project HDP -C031 parentheses 110-3C-31. Anthony.
Okay, this will be the final plans for the John Deere Build Grant project. We are bidding this out as a package alongside the City of Dubuque's Northwest Arterial project. There'll be two separate plans and two separate contracts. So this would be our piece here. Final plans are due next Tuesday and is scheduled for an April 19th spring letting. And if you have any design questions or anything, I have Aaron Moniza from both on the line as well.
Anyone have any questions on that?
No questions. It's just a comment to thank all that were involved in the design process. I know there was a lot of discussion and collaboration on this project, and well done to get to this point.
I would echo that. Thank you, Anthony, for all the work you've put into this.
Thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the plans and specifications for the John Deere Grave and Pave Iowa DOT project.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the plans and specifications. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Resolution carries. Next, we have a resolution to approve the construction evaluation resolution relating to the master matrix.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
And I will second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the construction evaluation resolution. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Carries. Next, we have a resolution designation of newspapers for fiscal year 22.
I will make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the designation of the newspapers for fiscal year 22. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Resolution approving the chair to sign a letter of support for Innovation Lab Rural Ideas Network.
Motion to approve the resolution.
And I will second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Next, we go to communications. First is communication regarding .gov email address changes. Was that Nathan? You want to address us on that?
Good morning. So as I say in the memo, essentially in about 2-3 weeks, I would like to start converting all of Dubuque County employees over to using .gov. It will not be disruptive. It will be transparent to most users. There's a few select that have been using it already. So really we'll just do this over the weekend and heads down until we get everybody switched over to it. Going forward, stationery, business cards, they could be reprinted whenever they naturally can be reprinted, because as I said, the old emails will continue to work just fine.
And this has a lot to do with better security.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for security.
Right.
So, and best practices, our emails have never aligned with the website. So this is a good time to also get that last check mark box. So the website equals the email is equal to the website. And reading the tea leaves, I think we're going to be forced to do this from the state before the 2024 presidential election. So let's just get it done and over with.
Okay, thank you.
Make a motion to receive and file the communication regarding .gov email address.
And I will second that.
I have a motion to receive and file and a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Next, we have a letter from the auditor regarding Washington and Taylor Townships.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. This is Auditor Dragato. I have a brief communication talking to the board about their ability to pass a resolution for Washington and Taylor Townships to move their trustees and clerks to appointments and away from elective positions. The letter outlines back in 2002, the measure was placed on the general election ballot for most of the townships. And about almost all of them, with the exception of Washington and Taylor, decided to move towards the appointment process. In the coming weeks, I will have a resolution on an agenda, at which point, if the board were to pass that, that would move the question to the people who live within those townships on the ballot this November, and they can make the decision. In doing so, it would save us a little bit of money, save the county a little bit of money, and simplify the ballot process in those townships. So that's what I have today.
Thank you, Kevin. You have any questions, Ann?
I do not. I'll make a motion to receive and file.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to receive and file. Letter from the auditor. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have appointments, supervisor appointments.
Couple questions on those for the board and possibly the auditor. The one where we're all three checked. So UCC, the 28E, the county mayors, and then the RTA. RTA is a little bit different. What's anyone's view or vantage point of those meetings that don't have minutes on it, that were all three, at least by this document, assigned? Is that proper
bring that
going
up,
forward? I mean, RTA has been like that for a while, so is other groups, but they do take minutes. They are available and open to the public. Those other ones, the UCC is not open to the public. I don't know
If the
2080
meetings,
actually restates that we're actually on that board, those things. We've got some just oddities. Maybe we can.
if the
talk through.
meetings are explicitly informational in nature, where you're there to get updates and not to discuss on behalf of the county, then 2 or even 3 of you there is not an issue for me. The UCC is probably one where I will start to attend weekly, just to make sure we have representation. And if we need to take minutes, then I'll start taking minutes of the UCC meeting, if there's more than one supervisor going to be there. As far as the rest of them, you know, it would be no different than if the 3 of you were sitting at an event together, which is perfectly plausible and legal. We would not, we would expect that you would not be discussing county business on your behalf or on the county's behalf. But if you're sitting there listening to what somebody's giving you an update, for example, with the mayors, for example, I would expect that the 3 of you could sit at a Dubuque mayor's meeting or at a Dubuque County mayor's meeting and listen to what they have to say, and even ask a question, as long as that question was not on behalf of the county. So we'd have to be absolutely clear about that. Otherwise, to your point, if 2 supervisors are going to be in attendance, then yes, we probably need to start looking into what specifics are being talked about and whether or not we need to start publishing those meetings and start taking minutes on those meetings.
Related to the watershed 28E, I remember we talked specifically about the membership of that 28E, and I don't recall the bylaws calling all 3 supervisors to be part of that. Because I wanted more representation for the county, and on 2-to-1 vote, I was not in favor of that. And so that's another one. Maybe, I don't know if staff or other ones can just review.
Yeah, we can take a look and see what the requirements are for each of these. I think this chart that's up today is simply stating that 3 supervisors, any one of you could attend, could respond to the Dubuque County Watershed Program 2080, or the Dubuque County Mayors, the UCC, and I think the RTA. I don't know that, I would have to look through each one to see if they require more than 1 supervisor to be in attendance. But my guess would be that the answer is no on that. But that's something we can do some digging and find out for you.
You know, we might put, like, for the mayors, just information only. Supervisor Wickham raises a good point. That when we assign each other to do these things, it does seem to me to raise it to a different level. You know, that the mayor's meeting is social. And it's not intended to be open to the public.
And many of these other ones have voting designations,
Right.
and they're called out in their bylaws. So that's where it gets a little you know, what does this represent? It's kind of what I'm getting at.
Well, let me reach out to some of my peers and get some feedback from them, and then take a closer look at the
Right.
organizations in question, and we can revisit this in a week or two.
Yeah, and because we've struggled this for as long as I've been on the board, just, okay, when do we have to give notice? When do we have to do notes? And I think we're continuing to make progress, but it seems like we've got just a few left.
Yeah, and if we can get those streamlined, that would be fantastic. That way we know what to expect, know what we need to do, and we don't have to run, afoul of anything.
If you could look at the RTA, there's a 28E agreement that creates the RTA,
Correct.
and we are all voting members there, and there are minutes taken. Whether or not it's actually, this is one that's always worried me about whether or not they publish a meeting notice in advance. Is it open to the public? I mean, I think it is. But that's one that I've been,
Yes.
the RTA, right? But the auditor's never been there.
Correct.
Yeah, I've been on several meetings where either Ann's been on or Jay's been on, and we have never discussed anything on the meeting. I was usually just, informational only. If I have a question, ask a question,
I would also rely on the three of you, if you're on a meeting, to know what the capacity is and what we should and shouldn't be talking about.
Right.
And then if it's a meeting that a representative, either myself or a deputy auditor, needs to be present, then we need to start being included on all of these communications prior to the meetings occurring.
Right.
Because I don't get information as to, I think the UCC is the only one that I get an email on, and Ed provides that to me.
Yeah.
And this is, I assume that the majority of these, well, probably not the mayors, but are any of these available on Zoom?
Sure.
Because that's a very simple thing for then for us to get a deputy on the call, even to record minutes if we need to. If that's what we're going to be doing, though, we need to start publishing in advance to make sure.
That's the thing, because when we're there, like, for instance, let's just use the watershed. When Jay and I were on that call on Zoom, the annual meeting, and there was great information, and I don't know, Harley, if you were there or not, I don't recall, but I know that they asked specifically for feedback and conversation about ideas. Supervisor Wickham spoke, and I declined. Because again, you can get that appearance, it's like, well, you're having this offline conversation. So the same thing would be with the health board. I know that you're there, I can see you in the Zoom world, but if I comment or if you comment first, then it's done, the meeting is done. There's no, I can be present, but I'm not in any way having conversation. So guidance about that might be helpful in a new world of Zoom, how other counties are handling that, because we are frequently on Zoom together, both just black screens.
I know that different counties look at it differently. Some auditors will be exceedingly strict and will not allow any of these sorts of gray areas or these two people at a meeting. I don't necessarily prescribe to that. We want to make sure that we're acting well within the Iowa code and what we're allowed to do. But I also don't want to be overly restrictive if we don't need to be. So give me a little bit of time to dig into this and see, look at these organizations, look at the meetings that they're having, look at the frequency, and then we can sort of back into an answer and a solution. I think we figure if we're only talking about a handful of meetings, then publishing a notice isn't a big deal, and putting an auditor in the room or a deputy in the room to take minutes isn't a big deal. And then this board of supervisors can have meaningful conversations legally.
Thank you for that feedback. I think the rest of the content is accurate from our previous meeting, so I'm pleased with the content, just kind of the overall information, though. Based on what we said, would it be proper to table this or to bring it back? I know it's just a communication.
So there actually is a need for a motion to approve the appointments. And so when we asked last week for that motion, we had looked at coming back with the table right here. The table can be amended in the future. I would not like that. I would not want that motion to get lost in future discussions. If we can approve the table as is, we can always come back and amend it if we need to.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Looking for a motion to
I will
approve.
make a motion to approve the table as presented for the boards and commissions.
Second,
Have a motion and a second to approve the supervisor appointments. All in favor signify by aye.
aye.
Aye. Carries. Open vacancies is for informational purposes only.
There are a few there that don't reflect what our website says. So for instance, Food Policy Council, the website indicates there's 2 vacancies and I don't see it listed there. So we'll need to work through that a little bit to make sure that what we're presenting is accurate, vice versa.
I was thinking the food policy was full, so the website might just be behind.
Yeah, we can take a look at this document and maybe turn it into a little more of a living document. That can easily be updated, easily be changed, and that those changes are reflected kind of across the board, so we don't run into issues. I think for this purpose, it's probably mostly about just getting all the information together in one place and then having a quick and easy way to disseminate it. And that's doable here in the year 2022. We have the technology, so we can get that squared away.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Any more comments on that or anything, Ann, or? Okay. Move to personnel requisitions. Looking for a motion to approve the personnel requisition for a permanent full-time deputy treasurer.
I'll make that motion.
And I will second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve the personnel requisition. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. That motion carries. We'll move into public comments. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters of which are concerned to that person and which are not on the agenda items. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address. Please be aware that the board is limited in their ability to respond to such inquiries, and Iowa code prohibits the board from deliberating or acting on items not appearing on the agenda. Individual remarks are limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone in the chambers that would like to speak? Seeing nothing in chambers, do we have anything on Zoom, Kevin? Okay, nothing on Zoom. We have no work sessions, so be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to second to adjourn. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.